You are listening to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast with Amanda Karlstad, episode number 260. Welcome to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast, a show for coaches who are ready to up-level their business and take their impact, leadership, and results to $1 million level and beyond. If you're ready to break through your limitations and start taking powerful action and become the seven-figure version of you that your business needs in order to grow, scale, and thrive, this show is for you. I'm your host, Amanda Karlstad, master coach, high-level business mentor and advisor, master intuitive, and business growth and scaling expert. Let's get down to business. Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's show. Today is a really important episode that I think you're going to find a ton of value in, and is something that I've learned that is so important in this journey of growing and scaling your business. And I have to say, it's something that I am really leaning into myself in this season in my own business. And it's something that every single one of my clients are experiencing as well, as they are all in the process of taking their businesses to the next level. And so whether that is hitting their first 100,000 or scaling to their first 250,000, 500,000, $1 million year, multi-million dollar year, and beyond, what we're about to talk about today is really relevant to you. And so I mentioned this in last week's podcast episode, but right now I am in a season of expansion. I am in a season of scale. And what we're going to talk about is I'm finding so vitally important. And it's really something that I think can change everything. So I'm excited to be bringing it to you all today. So what I want to talk to you about today is your action and your extraordinary goals. And something that I talk a lot about on this podcast, and is something that I really do a lot of work on with all of my clients, is centered around creating and achieving extraordinary goals. And I have to tell you all, I love the word extraordinary. I love thinking about my own goals in a way that's extraordinary, in the lens of business and in setting goals. And my definition is that it's really about setting goals and achieving goals that are extraordinary, that aren't typical, that are way beyond good, that are way beyond great, that are so far above and beyond that it's something that's really remarkable. It's something that is amazing, that is extraordinary, and that's also very rare. And it's interesting because I was just having a conversation yesterday with one of my high-level mastermind clients who is in that right now, who has created extraordinary growth, who has created a business that generates over $1 million a year in less than 2 years. This is somebody who, we were kind of laughing about it, who literally went from trying to sell her coaching package less than $400, was struggling to do that, working one-on-one, burning herself out, to now in a position where she is really creating a company. She is creating a business that not only generates well over $1 million a year, but is helping so many people and has such a large impact. And so this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about extraordinary. To build a business like that in that amount of time is extraordinary. To build a business like that, in this particular example, this client didn't have any prior corporate experience. And so many of these things about building a company and teams, all of this is so new. Those are extraordinary things. So when I think about setting and achieving extraordinary goals in my own business, and as I help my clients do the same in their businesses, it's interesting, as I was preparing for this episode, client after client, example after example, just kept washing over me of where my clients are achieving extraordinary goals in their businesses, are in the process of building their business to an extraordinary level. And it really, really blows my mind. And so I know so many of you listening have a desire to do the same, to create a business that is extraordinary, to create a level of success that is extraordinary, to serve your clients in an extraordinary way. And I believe that those desires, those extraordinary goals are truly vital to your success. I believe that they are necessary, and I think they are one of the most important pieces to this big puzzle of building businesses. So I want to encourage all of you, if you haven't already, the first step is you have to be setting extraordinary goals for yourself. I believe so much in this practice, in your practice of setting extraordinary goals for your year, to set extraordinary goals for the course of your life, for the course of your business. And I will tell you, this is something that I continuously focus on personally. It's something that I'm constantly looking at. It's something that has changed the trajectory of my business. It has changed the trajectory of my life because I have set extraordinary goals for myself, for my business, for my life. And so it's something that I am continually reshifting and refocusing my energy on to be able to create what it is that I see for myself, what it is that I see for my business, what it is that I see for my clients, what it is that I see for my family. And then from there, it's about being willing to then go after it, to then go after those extraordinary goals. And so that's what I really want to dive into, is your willingness and your capacity to, number one, set extraordinary goals in your life, but then to actually go after those extraordinary goals. And here's why this is so important. In the course of business, as you are growing your businesses, you will have setbacks. You will, quote unquote, fail. There will be more times than not where you won't have evidence that what you're doing is actually going to produce the result that you want. But here's the key. When you have the willingness and when you make the decision to be fully committed and decide with commitment to go after your extraordinary goals, and you have the willingness and the decisiveness to then take massive action, and in a lot of cases, messy action in the pursuit of your goals, this, my friends, is what is so, so crucial. Because here's the thing. It is one thing to sit down and write down your extraordinary goals. It is one thing to create a vision for your life, for your business, and to decide what it is that you want to create. And I want to just stop there for a minute, because something that I think is also really important is to remind you that you right now have the capacity, you have the ability right now in this moment to choose and decide what it is that you most want to create in this world. And I want you to really get that, because this is one of the, I think, greatest privileges that we have, is to choose what it is that we want to create, to choose what type of coaching that you want to specialize in, to choose the type of coaching that you even offer, to choose the types of clients that you most want to work with, to choose the type of program and the offer that you provide. There is so much freedom in this business for you to be able to choose what it is that you want to offer and who you want to work with and the level of success that you most want to create. And it's such a beautiful thing. And with that choice also must come a level of willingness to then go after what it is that you most want to create. to take the massive action that is in service to your higher vision. And so this is what I think is so important, is having the willingness to take those next actions, having the willingness to take those next steps, even when the timing isn't on your timeline, even when the timing isn't maybe what you had hoped, even when you try something in your business and it doesn't work. Having the resilience and the focus on those next best actions are what will add up and result in those extraordinary results that you most want. I did a podcast a while back where I talked about the power of the compound effect, and I'd encourage you to go back and listen to that podcast. We'll link that up in the show notes, because your decision to show up each and every day in service to your bigger goals, in service to the business that you so desire, in service to your future clients, and taking the next best action to create those results is what will create those extraordinary results for you, even if you don't have evidence of it happening yet. One of the things that I see happen so often with coaches is that they might try one thing in their business. They might go out and put together, for example, a marketing funnel and start running ads to it. Or they might find that something else that they really thought would work to help them grow their business doesn't right away. And they might find that it doesn't work in the way that they expected, or they don't get the results right away. So what happens so often is I see a lot of times so much frustration. I see a lot of disappointment in whatever it is that doesn't work right out of the gate. And in most cases, almost immediately, something that I observe is that I see so many that then go out and try something different. And they think that the answer is in something else, and they take their focus away from the original thing, and they hope and wish that the answer is going to be in this next new thing. And I will tell you, what happens time after time is that typically these things don't work right off the bat. And so no matter what it is, whether it's a funnel, whether it's a social media strategy, whether it's a form of paid advertising, so often these things take time to master. They take time to optimize. They take time to dial in and to convert. And so when you're jumping from thing to thing, so often we're not giving the thing time to work. And in that process, there tends to be discouragement that grows and grows to the point of, in a lot of cases, desperation. And so if this is resonating for you right now, because I see this happen so often, and I actually call it off-roading with my clients, when I see clients that start to veer off the main path, when I see clients that start to complicate things, when I see them start jumping from one shiny object to another, in a lot of cases, I can see it happening. The game gets lost. Because when you really think about it, if you think about this in terms of, let's just say, sports, let's talk about sports at a professional level. Whatever sport that you choose, when you take your eye off the ball, so to speak, when you take your eye off of what is important, when you lose focus, when you lose intensity, when you lose intention, you're not going to win the game. Now, you might feel like you're in the game. You might feel like you're putting forth everything you've got. But the truth is that you're really not playing the game at the level that's going to be required if you want to win the championship, if you want to win the World Series, if you want to win the Super Bowl. So my friends, the same is true in this game of online business. You have to be willing to be in the game. You have to be willing to go up to bat. You have to be willing to strike out and strike out again and maybe strike out again before you hit that home run, before you hit that grand slam. And it's not letting those strikeouts mean anything more than what they are. I have to tell you, this is where I see so many get off track in the pursuit of their extraordinary goal, is that they stop showing up in the ways that actually matter. It's getting distracted and losing belief in the things that are actually important in this game. It's losing belief in the goal. It's losing belief in taking the next step that leads to the next step, that leads to the next step. And the truth is that's what ultimately creates extraordinary results, is the practice of taking massive action, is doing the things that feel uncomfortable, is doing the things even when there is no proof that it will work, even when you don't have evidence for yourself yet that it's going to work. It's having the willingness to do it anyway. It's being willing to fail your way forward. It's being willing to keep the main thing, and not get distracted by things that don't matter, by bright, shiny objects. It's not being seduced by what might seem easy in this business. It's not being seduced by believing that there's a shortcut somewhere. It's being willing to do the hard work, to feel the emotional discomfort that comes along with creating extraordinary things. This is the secret to your success in this business, is to not be afraid to first, number one, set extraordinary goals. And number two, to then be committed to those extraordinary goals and to take the actions that need to be taken in order to create those levels of results. Number three, to be able to feel the feelings and the emotions that will come up as you're on the journey of creating extraordinary success. Number four is staying the path and not allowing yourself to stray too far off the path. Number five is to continue to believe even when you don't yet have the results. So be in massive action. I want to challenge you to be in service to your greater mission, to be in service to the greater good, to be in service to your future self, to be in service to your future clients. I want to encourage you to do this and challenge you to choose to be extraordinary over distraction and to take the next best step on your journey of greatness, and to not lose hope and not lose faith in that which you've chosen to pursue. I promise you it will be worth it. There is so much waiting for you on the other side. All right, my friends, have a beautiful week. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the $1 Million Coach Business Podcast. If you're ready to step into the $1 million version of yourself and scale your business to 6, multi-6, or 7 figures and beyond, go to amandakarlstadcoaching.com.